Hey guys, Brentford's Lazy here. Just made a deck right now. I kind of wanted to abuse Crane, and then I thought about Furin Kazan, or however you pronounce it, and how there are a lot of elements that the level 3s cover, and the Exceed monsters cover pretty much all of them. So you got wind, water, fire, and there are plenty of earth monsters in the deck to cover the earth area. So I figured, how hard could this be to get off? And it turns out it's pretty easy. Well, given the right opportunity. So I'm going to first show you a deck that I felt really bad beating. I don't ever like to play against people like this just because I feel like they're just starting, and even with a deck like this, I feel like it was still an unfair battle, but it does show what the deck can do. So, there's reasons why I covered the name, just so people don't show up on my channel and they're like, get mad at me or feel kind of discouraged from playing the game. They don't get embarrassed, from losing or anything. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I just like, I know I would feel kind of awkward if my screen name showed up and people started messaging me on DevPro about how bad I lost to something stupid or, whatever. So that's why I covered the names up on my channel. But anyway, here we go. So, my starting hand is Furin, and then Maxi, Tempest, and Mathematician, and Crane, and then Lone Fire. Lone Fire is a fire level 3 monster, so I go off for that play. As you can see, my opponent's playing heroes, and they're playing a weird Fusion Gate version. So I go off, grab my other Lone Fire, and then go straight into Dandelion. I feel like the Mathematician play is a lot more cost effective. I might find 3 level 3 fire monsters that I like better than the 2 Lone Fires. They just have synergy with the Dandelion and the Blaster in the deck, so that's something to consider. So my opponent then sets a Hero Emerges, which is when an opponent monster declares an attack, your opponent chooses one random card from your hand, and if it is a monster, you special summon it, otherwise send it to the graveyard. And then he set his Clayman. So I wasn't going to be doing a whole lot. Drew my Redix, drew my Mathematician, and I wanted an opportunity to try out Bachi, so this is going to be it because Crane can bring it back, and yeah, it's pretty cool. So I attack into his Clayman like a dummy, and take my 500, then he goes and grabs, or brings out Sparkman, kills my dude, gives me a card. That's cool, Snowman Eater. Now you will see cards that I actually don't even mean to play. I have double summon in here because I figured I might need it, but I really don't, just because of how slow and controlling the deck is. And Allure is a leftover from when I was running Undines and Genix controllers. Those are no longer in the deck, as you will see in the deck profile. So basically, I bring out the Crane, go for Bachi, go for Leviathan, and run over his Clayman. So then he goes for the Fusion Sage play, activating that, and chain Maxi obviously to get at least one and draw off. Goes for what is that, Thunder Spark Giant? No, Thunder Giant. He ditches his Bubble Man and then grabs this dude. So as you see, I drew my Fang Huang, and I get to activate my Dandelion's effect. And so I was like, cool, I'm just gonna set a bunch of stuff, and then I was assuming that I would probably get this off during my turn, and so there I knew he would attack with the lower guys first, or I assumed I would anyway, or he would. And he goes for that, and I'm not really worried about that either. And then so I set another one, grab back Crane, grab back Dandelion, go for Acid Golem, and hit over his dude. So now I'm pretty much in complete control. He's going to set that. And then I am going to, I believe, sacrifice. Yeah. So now I control 2 winds, a fire, and a water. And I bring out Redix just to bring out the additional one. I have these 2 down, and they basically become Reckless Grease where I don't lose my draw phase. So there you go. I get draw 2, and I draw 2 more. And their effects are, I get to choose out of the 4. Is I can destroy all monsters he controls, all spell and traps he controls, randomly discard 2 cards from his hand, or I can draw 2 cards. So I felt like, why not just gain some more advantage and, go for that. And then I attack his dude, get in there for 16, and then my guy comes back to my hand, and my turn. And so he brings out this guy, goes for Redix, as he's stronger than him. So then I draw my Lightning Vortex, bring out my Crane again, and I go for a little bit of damage, Granosaurus damage. You know, gonna burn him a little bit. And then he has a burst penetrates, has to set it. And this is basically why I didn't really like, you know, playing this, because I was in such control that I felt like it was unfair, but it got to show off what the deck can do. So now I'm going to go into another game that's a lot more interesting, and this is the first time I've ever played against this deck, so let's get right over to that. Alright, so here we go, and this is the first time I've ever played against H.A.T. It's the I don't remember what the H is stand for. Artifacts, Trap Tricks. So it's H something Artifacts, Trap Tricks. So yeah, so I play against the H.A.T deck right here, and oh, it's hands, Artifacts, Trap Tricks. This one seems to be just Artifacts, Trap Tricks, because I didn't even see any of the hands. But anyway, so my opening hand is Dandelion, Maxi, Snowman Eater, Soul Charge, Tempest, and Dark Hole, and his opening hand is double Cyclones, or double Cyclones, Mystical, Bottomless, and Duality. So let's see what the plays are. I set Snowman Eater first because I didn't know exactly what I was playing against, and he activates Duality, showing 3 choices, and let's see what they were. So they were Wiretap. Okay, that's what that card was. Wiretap, Artifact, Moral Attack, I guess, and Mystical Space Typhoon. So he grabs the Artifact monster, sets a Bottomless and a double Cyclone. And I'm just playing it slow, pretty much. I don't have any real big plays I can make right now. Dandelion, he grabs a breakthrough skill off the top of his deck, puts that down. I have a Crane's on. He's not doing anything, so I can't really do anything in response. He sets more cards and activates his card, drawing more spells and traps. I draw Double Summon, which is a useless card, so I decide I'm going to start pecking at him with Dandelion. And then I dump Tempest because I meant to set something, but it actually turns out okay because I forgot I had Soul Charge. And so then I go in there for again. I try to get in there again for another 300. That's what I was going to do. I was just going to keep stabbing him. And he didn't seem to like that. So he activates that, and I activate Maxi in response because I know it special summons. And so I grab another double summon, which is pretty stupid. But, you know, here's my Winds and Water monster. And I set a double summon as a bluff. And he sets 2 of his Theosophy of the Artifacts, which basically he can pop one of his face downs. And then also, if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy that target. So basically, if you chain Mystical, they chain that, and then they pop one of their things, and then they get to pop like a bunch of your stuff. But unfortunately for him, not doing that, so it works out in my favor. So now I can go off with Crane or Feng Huang. Now, you don't normally want to go off on Feng Huang against artifacts because usually there's a bunch of monsters sitting back there, and I was worried about that, and I was like, well, he hasn't done anything yet. I think if he had the things to go off, he would have. So let's go for broke. And so this puts a fire and a water monster on my field. I haven't set this yet, and then he has the breakthrough skill. So he stops my effect, and then I bring up my not Dandelion, Snowman Eater to pop his artifact. And then I play Soul Charge, bringing back Dandelion and Tempest, but not doing anything with them. And knowing that this is going to stay on the field because its effect was negated by Breakthrough Skill, I set my Furin. And I was hoping that he wouldn't pop it, so, you know, so I could get my effect off. And then he has 2 Mysticals in hand, a double Cyclone, another double Cyclone, and then 2 of these things. So he goes off, targeting his own thing, and then he, which is a, you know, and then he targets my double summon, which is whatever. And then he chains another double Cyclone to his double Cyclone, targeting my Furin, and then I chain that, targeting everything else that he controls. So, and to my, you know, my surprise, it wasn't a whole lot. And I was like, oh, cool, you know. And then he gets rid of this stuff, brings out Trap Tricks, Dionaya, I think is how you pronounce her name, but he has no targets for her, so it's whatever. And then I go back into, and my turn, because I didn't really have to do anything. And then he goes and grabs a Trap Tricks Trap Hole and makes a Silent Arc, and then doesn't do anything. He doesn't want me to get those tokens. And so I'm like, alright, cool. I bring out Blaster, go grab a, you know, Debris, do that. Go in this Fortune Tune and hit one of those materials off so he can't steal anything. And in my end phase, he, you know, compulses my Star Eater back to my hand, which is pretty funny. But now I have this, it's going to generate more tokens for me. And so he has another Trap Trick Trap Hole, activate my, my Dandelion, bring out my tokens, and he puts down another. So he has 2 Trap Tricks, Trap Holes, I think 2 Mysticals. Yeah. And so, and I'm not setting any kind of back row. I'm getting life points over here, and I'm going to go for another rank 3, and I go into Acid Golem. Nothing back there is going to help him, so I go in for the attack, do a little more damage, and then then he brings out another Dianaya, and I'm going to chain my Max E because now he has a target, and I get a draw off of it, and then I get another draw off of it. So as you can see, double summons and Allure aren't doing anything for me right now. But I'll show you what I changed them out for because I noticed something about the deck. So basically, now he has H.A.T, and this is where it's kind of funny because I draw my card, then he scoops. And that's what happened basically. So, what he basically was going to do is he was going to activate H.A.T, and what that was going to do was nothing. It was just going to hurt him more than it hurt me. This wasn't going to die. This was going to die, but it was going to replace the tokens that were going to be destroyed by H.A.T. And then I was going to be able to summon my Mathematician or play another Soul Charge and then bring out more things, and it was just going to create a lot of advantage in my favor. And so he just scooped instead. He surrendered because it was pointless to even keep trying at this point. He got really bad mixtures of spells and traps and stuff. And so I don't know if this was actually a hand. Well, actually, we could just go look. Oh no, we can't because the replay's over. So if the replay wasn't over, I could have actually stopped the replay and looked through his deck to see if it was a hand deck. I'll let you know in the comments or in the description area. But yeah, so basically that's what the deck does. It just sets up and sets up and sets up, and then you use Furin, and you get free basically a Harpy's Feather Duster in trap form, or a Raigeki in trap form, Delinquent Duo in trap form, or a Pot of Green in trap form without any of the real drawbacks. Well, they're like pseudo versions of those things, but it's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. So let's just go over to the deck profile and we can check out what I changed. Alright, so here we are in the deck profile. We have, this is basically like a Dragon Ruler variant, sort of. It has Flammable Guard to go with the Blaster. I added a Gorge because I noticed that I wasn't really setting anything until I knew I was going to set up. So, I like to be able to have something to protect my face, basically. I'll take a hit, but then here comes Gorge, and it gives me another Star Eater play, or a Leo play, or a rank 7 Exceed play, or something like that. So that's pretty cool. And then, I have Tidal, and there's nothing really Tidal can grab, but there's a lot of stuff to bring him out, and he's a dragon, so he can go off of the other dragons and activate their effects. Redix and Tempest. Tempest grabs Debris, and Redix doesn't grab anything. He's just basically recursion. One Mobius, one Dark Dust Spirit, and one Feng Wang. So the Mobius was there just because sometimes, I wanted to be able to control what I hit. Basically, people would have field spells out or stuff like that. And I want to be able to hit those things because I don't play mystical, and Feng Huang only hits face down stuff. So if you chain to it, it doesn't really work. Debris, just because there's a lot of stuff in this deck that it can abuse. It can hit the Lone Fire Blossoms, the Cranes, Dandelion, and I believe, the Snowman Eaters. And also, it can also hit the Maxi, but I don't really use that ever. Unless there's more stuff on the board. I added Magician of Faith also, so I can grab back stuff like Monster Reincarnation, Foolish Burial, Soul Charge if I need to. Any kind of one of the spells that I really might need in a pinch. Magical Merchant. So the theory behind Magical Merchant is that I set it early and it gets hit, not destroyed, or it will get destroyed by battle, but it'll get hit by battle and not popped by an effect or added back to my hand or whatever. And then it'll just mill a bunch of the monsters off, and then I'll hit a Soul Charge, or I already have a Soul Charge, and then I can make my Furin plays super quick. So I haven't really gotten to do that yet, but hopefully I will. And then so basically that's about it for the main deck. Then 3 Furins that I've been, you saw me get 2 off in that one game. That's not really a good example, but it happened, and then I got it off again in the game against the Artifact Trap Tricks deck. So that's pretty cool. And this is just to abuse the the Dragon Ruler's special summon ability and all that stuff. And then I have some of the usual suspects in the extra deck. I might change some of the rank 3s. I like Granosaurus sort of just because it can do some bird damage and it gives me a fire monster. But Zenmaines might be a better option just because it has it can protect itself, it has a big defense and stuff like that. And then Armory Arm's pretty cool when you can actually use it, and but it might be situational. And then Armades obviously is really situational, just because I need to get a rank 3 tuner, which I don't even think I have in here anymore actually. Oh, I guess I could use like the Dandelion tokens, and then Mathematician, and what's his name, Flammable Guard, or something, like some combination of that. So this could probably come out, for something else. Maybe I could actually put Iron Chain Dragon back into the deck. But yeah, so basically that's what the deck does. I probably will be playing with this a little bit just for fun, and maybe make a compilation video about it. But let me know what you guys think of the deck in the comment section. Hit the like, subscribe button, so when I put any videos, and thanks for watching.